Hi, tried this a few times. I think hopefully I'll finally actually get through it this time. In this video, I'm going to go through 3 different games because they're all quite short and they don't really need their own video. So that is going to be line dice, zombie dice, and timeline. Just skip through if you're not interested in a particular game. I'll be less than 5 minutes for each anyway, so I shouldn't worry too much. The first of them is line dice. Normally you'd be playing with 36 dice. I'm just going to play with 12 just for the sake of being able to do a quick run through. In line dice, each player, well, I'll just might as well go straight into doing a kind of run through. We'll roll all their dice to see what they get. And then they're trying to build a route. I don't know if there's a particular theme to this, but one way to think of it is sort of you're building train tracks or something. And you're trying to build the route and keep on going without performing an invalid move, whether that's crashing into one of the other bits of the track in an invalid way, or causing an infinite loop, or such like. The first player to, sorry, so it's essentially an elimination game because anyone who messes up is out, but it's quick enough that the fact that it's player elimination doesn't really matter. And I'm not sure what happens if no one goes out, although I think it's quite rare it happens. I think that it might be the first player to run out wins then or something. So you kind of want to try and force the end before that can happen. So in this situation, I'm just, for reference, I've put these here. That's just to say this is the red side and that's a black side, just because I needed something to say this is red's turn, this is black's turn. So let's start with red. The first thing he's going to place is he's going to place one of these dice with an arrow on. When you place an arrow in this game, or when the first one goes down, all other arrows then have to also point the same direction. So it would be an invalid move, for example, for that to happen, or for that to happen now, because the second arrow would be facing the wrong way. The second player then essentially gets to pick which direction the track is going in. As they have a choice between, that's not valid. They have a choice between going here or here, but that's just for the sake of this particular quick game, go there. Once that second player has put one down, so I just put that one down, that set the direction for this game as being this way on the track. So the next player can't place here. That would be an invalid move, not allowed to do that. Next move, red's going to go up here. Then this guy can't place either of his corners, so black's going to go up here. Red is going to, red's also got the same problem. This is going to be a very, very short and fast game because I've left myself that none of these corners are valid where I've gone up here. So this player is going to go, and it's going to get back to red, and red cannot place because both of these corners are invalid against the direction of this course. What they can try and do is, there's a little rule in the rule book where if you can place it without the other player noticing, if the second player then placed a dice before noticing it's happened, then red would be allowed to do it. In this case, black's going to call them out, say you're a liar, you're trying to cheat, and red's out, red loses, and black wins this game. Usually it gets a bit more exciting than a straight line. This was just chance, and because I started with only 6 dice each, it was quite limited. Usually you'd be playing with the whole 36 and you get enough variety that the game gets more interesting and you start getting into sort of things like, get sort of loops and things and start going around in silly ways, and you might kind of come back round, you might go up across the cross section, and it's quite an exciting quick little game. Quite like it. Don't play it all that often, but it's fun. It comes in a nice little bag, so it's quite quick and easy to play. Next up is Zombie Dice. In Zombie Dice, it is a push your luck dice game where you are playing zombies and you're trying to eat as many tasty brains as possible. So the 3 sides of the dice, each turn in Zombie Dice, you'll be taking 3 dice, rolling them, seeing what you get. If you're feeling confident, you can then carry on and you'll be taking more dice from the pot. And any runners, building back up to 3, and then rolling those. And you keep on going until either you're satisfied and you say, I'm happy with this, I'm taking the 3 brains. And you'd take them. These aren't included with the game. These are little tokens I got from a Kickstarter project where it's just little laser cut tokens. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little brain engraved on them. I intend to colour that in sometime, but I just haven't yet. But these just make it easier to keep track of score. I think usually you have to keep it in your head or find a piece of paper to write it down on or something. Sorry about that. I'll let myself get interrupted again. My housemate's going to walk back through in a moment, but I'm going to try and ignore her this time because I can't stop every time. As I'm going to have way too many little fractured bits in videos. Sorry about that. Where I think I was yeah, when you stop, you take all the brains which are yours, or write down your score, or however you want to track it. All the dice go back in the pot, and play continues to the next person. If on your turn you were to get to 3 shots, you get nothing. You would not have gotten those brains. You don't get the 2 which are rolled as brains because you got shot 3 times. So essentially you want to stop and score before that can happen. What's happened to the camera? Okay, yeah, someone's about to run back through the room. Just ignore that little fact. There are 3 special dice, which are the Hottie, the Hunk, and Santa. The special thing about the Hottie and the Hunk is the Hottie has 3 runner sides. Sorry, I didn't say. The green dice is an easy to catch human. He has 3 brains, 2 runners, and 1 shot. The yellow one has 2 of each, and the red one has 3 shots, 2 runners, and a brain. There's more green dice than red dice in the game, and the yellows are kind of in between somewhere. So you get more greens, and if you get a hand of reds, you're quite likely to get a shot, and you want to try and avoid getting too many of those in your hand as a rolling thing, which you'll probably see doing a run through in a moment. The special thing about these 3 dice, these are from the expansion double feature. So yeah, the Hottie, as I said, has 3 runners. The Hunk has a double brain, so he can be worth a lot of in that sense. He also has a double shot though, and 3 of his sides are shots. So he's like a red dice, which has a special double brain if you get lucky. The other special thing about these 2, I can't remember if it includes Santa or not. I'll try and write it in the comments. I'll look at the rules in a sec. Is that if you have the brain for one of these and you roll the counterpart and you get shots, the Hunk and the Hottie will rescue each other. So if you were to roll that, then the Hottie will be saved. She goes back into the pot and potentially be drawn later on in the round. So sometimes if you get the double brain on the Hunk, for example, it makes it a little bit scary if you put out the Hottie because you might roll a shot and then you'll lose the double brain on that turn. The Santa dice is special because he has double brains as well. He's a very smart guy, being Santa. He also has some gifts in his bag. He has a helmet. If you get the helmet, then instead of it being 3 shots before you're out for a round, it's 4. So it increases your durability for that particular round. And you just keep it by your side until the next player's turn when you put it back in the pot. Or you can get the energy drink. The energy drink makes it so that you can catch the green dice even easier. So the 2 runner sides on a green dice become brains. So the green dice essentially becomes 5 brains and 1 shot. So if you've got an energy drink as your thing on the side, then if you rolled that, then you would immediately find the brain side to turn it to it. So that's the advantage of that. So Santa's a really nice dice if you happen to pull that out. So let's do a quick run through this. Normally you'd play to 13. I'm going to play to 5 for argument's sake. So the first thing you do is you shake the set. Oh, well, I'm tempted to cut that out, but that was quite funny for all of you, I'm sure. The bottom of the pot for zombie dice is not really held on very well. I did glue it at one point, but the glue failed. I did try to do it against my leg to stop it from falling off, but I failed. So anyway, let's try and run through again. I'm going to be a bit more careful this time. So you'll shake the pot on your turn, then blindly draw out 3. I promise I'm not sneakily looking. Roll them. Once again, let's have black on that side and red on this side. So red rolls 3 dice, gets 2 shots on a runner. Normally, it wouldn't carry on if we've got on a brain, but on this occasion I'm going to, because there's no point to not carry on when I've not got any. So Draw out 2 more, and the runner. All 3 again. 3 shots. Red achieves nothing this round, and play passes to the next player, which is the black player. Right, that didn't go quite so badly that time. So 3 dice. Oh, this looks quite dire. Because it's a red, black's not going to keep that, but he got a brain, so he's going to stop at this point. He's going to stay safe, play safe. He's going to take 1 brain, and he's 1 on his way to victory, of going to 5 in this case. I think I mentioned it was up to 13, but I'll just say it again in case that was in the bit which got missed out. So, red's turn. Grab the 3 dice. Ooh, that's good. I only got 1 shot of red, so I'm going to risk it. It's quite a risque player, and last time he got nothing, so this time he wants to try and get a lot. So let's go again. Oh, this is quite a terrifying roll. So in this case, I got a double brain, but I also got shot by the hottie, so the double brain is going to get returned to the pot. And I'm now on 2 shots of red, so he's not quite that risky that he's going to carry on. He's going to just take the 2 brains he's gotten and end his turn. So that's red. Oh, I forgot to put those back in. Sorry, you should put all the dice back in between turns. That was just a slight mistake on my behalf. Back to black's turn. All are runners, so to get 3 again, it's all 3 of those once again. Reroll them. Got a brain and a runner. Black's going to take it easy, I think. He's just going to take that 1 brain. And it's going to go on to red. Again. This is the evident problem with this game. I don't know if I've gotten all the dice, but that's going to do for now, because I don't want to have to keep on stopping the video to pick them all up. 1 brain. Going to carry on. See what I get. I'm on 2 shots and 3 brains. Red's happy with that. Red takes all 3. And as I'm playing to 5, that's the victory. Awesome. Well played, red. Shame about the fact you dropped half the dice on the floor. I'll go and find any which I missed in a minute. Finally, we've got Timeline. This is a really fun little game which I've often played with my housemates, and it's just so easy to get out. I'm going to take it home for Christmas and play it with my family and such, because anyone can learn to play this, no problem. The objective in Timeline is, let's put down a first card, is to get rid of all of your cards. Oh, I don't know where to put that up there. The way you do that is by picking one of them. So, for example, why have I lost focus? I'm going to try and adjust, see if it's because of the way I'm holding the camera. There we go, I think that's a bit better. And then you try to guess where on the timeline it goes. So you might say D-Day, well, I think that's after 1915, in which case you turn it over and place it, and you look at the dates on it, and if it's correct, it stays in the timeline. If, on the other hand, you were to say, well, okay, I'll just carry on, and I might as well do a run through because it's such a simple and easy game. Usually we play with we usually start with 8 cards each to make it a bit more complicated, as most of us know quite a lot of the dates by now, and the more you get to know the game, you just keep adding cards so that it gets a bigger timeline and it gets more complex, to the point it's hard to remember where exactly they go. So the black player is going to say the introduction of plus and minus signs. That's got to be a long time before. Yeah, 1489. Back to the red player. The red player is going to assume that I don't know what's wrong with the focus, sorry about that. He's going to guess that the first use of antiseptics is after D-Day. And he's going to be very wrong. So when you're wrong, you discard the card and you draw a new one into your hand, so you don't get to go down. But you potentially get a card which you know more about, or which you might be able to make a more educated guess on. So black is going to go the invention of the can opener, probably between plus and minus signs and the introduction of the milk carton. Yep, bang on. Red, the Black Death, before 1489. Yep, in 1346. Black is going to has invention of the motorcycle. He's not quite sure where this is. He's going to guess between these two, and he's going to be wrong. It's actually way before that, of course. So he discards that, draws a new one. Invention of the computer mouse is quite obviously over here, 1960 something, 1963. And red wins this game. He got rid of his pile of hands first, and of cards first. Yay! So that's all of them. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll try and do a more complicated walkthrough sometime this week. Thanks for watching. This is Chris.